take a quick look at Tuesday night's two-game NHL slate on Draftkings. We've got Carolina and the Rangers, and Colorado and Dallas. Checking out the targetability ratings, Dallas jumps to the top spot by a fairly wide margin, at least by playoff standards, where everything's been really condensed and a lot of teams have been shut down offensively. Dallas has a targetability rating of 21.6, which is about 6 points higher than Carolina's 15.9. Colorado comes in at 14.5, and the Rangers are at 13.2. Dallas takes the clear top spot, but then Carolina, the Rangers, and Colorado are all pretty interchangeable. There's only 3 points separating New York and Carolina in those 2 through 4 spots on tonight's two-game slate. So Dallas 1 will be my number one target. And then Carolina, the Rangers, Colorado, you can kind of mix and match, interchange. There's nowhere there that stands out as clearly a better spot than the others. If we're looking for our cheap shot blocking defenseman, there's not a ton that jumps out as an obvious, hey, this guy's in line to get the blocks bonus. But New York is in a pretty good shot blocking matchup. Carolina puts a lot of pucks on net and also gets a lot of shots blocked. So the Rangers, two guys that I would be looking at for value is Keandre Miller. But if I have 4,500, I will lock Jacob Trouba in a heartbeat. The dude is blocking so many shots, playing a bunch of minutes, has the chance of getting some assists too. So he's just at 4,500. It's still a really good price for him. And then Keandre Miller's 3,400. He's the cheapest of the shot blocking defenseman, or the cheapest defenseman I'm looking at on this slate. And then we can go to Dallas as well in a pretty good shot blocking matchup. Chris Tanev's been blocking shots all playoffs. He's 3,800. Asa Lindell's also been blocking a lot of shots, but he's 4K. So our cheap shot blocking defensemen aren't really that cheap. Keandre Miller comes in the cheapest at 3,400. But I think all four of those guys are great. You can do them as one-offs, last man in, or you can throw them onto a stack of, if you're stacking the Rangers or Dallas, you can use those as a fourth skater. That's totally fine too, or even a fifth skater. So speaking of which, I added this strategy section on the last two-game slate a couple nights ago. It's a little bit different, just based on the way the stats check out for these two games. But I've kind of given my thought process in a list form and kind of the way that I'm thinking about this slate. So the first thing is that Dallas has the highest targetability by a pretty large margin, and that's thanks to their expected goals. They were playing really well in that first series against Vegas. It went 7 games because Vegas's goaltending was phenomenal. But as a whole, Dallas was the much better team. They had a really high expected shots on goal and really high expected goals for from that first round. And then couple that with Georgiev being the least intimidating of these four goalies on the slate. You can see he had the lowest season save percentage and has the lowest playoff save percentage and has the highest playoff goals against average of these four guys too. So those two things make Dallas a prime spot to target tonight. My top target on Dallas is going to be Dallas 1, which should have full power play correlation. You're going to want to check probably daily face-off or left wing lock. Make sure Pavelski's still on that top line with Robertson and Hintz, and that will also be the top power play, so you can get those 3 Dallas 1 skaters. Correlation at even strength and correlation at power play is always nice. My next note is that being that Dallas does have such a significantly higher targetability rating than the other three, I think there is totally merit in playing 4 Dallas skaters. You can even go with a 4-man stack. I would do the Dallas 1 and then someone else on that power play. And then if you have the money to play Chris Tanev or Asa Lindell, I think that's totally fine too. So doing like a 4 skater stack that have power play correlation, and then considering Tanev or Lindell like a one-off, hoping for the shot bonus. The blocks bonus. And then if they do happen to record a point or two by accident, then you're feeling really good about your night. So all my lineups are going to revolve around Dallas. After you get your Dallas core in, those other three are pretty much interchangeable. Their target ability scores are all really similar. So you're going to want to decide on your goalie. And again, the prices are, I think, 74 to 8K for the 4 goalies, so they're all in the same price range. It's just going to be whoever you don't want to stack against and run that goalie. I'm not going to be playing Georgiev because I will be having Dallas as my primary stack. But I think Ottinger's my top choice. Colorado's a dangerous team, but Ottinger's playing really great, and I think he and Shesterkin have the best chance at the 35 save bonus. I would say Ottinger is 1A, Shesterkin 1B. And then once you decide on your goalie, you can use whatever other 2 teams you have if you're not using Ottinger, and kind of use those as secondary or mini stacks to round out your lineup, and using one of these shot blocking defensemen as kind of a last piece in, or if you need a defenseman to round out your lineup or to save a little bit of salary, I would go to one of those 4. So Dallas, then pick a goalie, use the other 2 teams as mini stacks, and use any of these defensemen to save some salary if you need it. If we get any weirdness in starting goaltenders, I'll update the model, which is linked in the description down below, so you can pull up your copy of it. And if we get any news, like say Dallas's top line changes again with Pavelski dropping down and maybe Wyatt Johnston moving up, that might change the power play correlation, I will make a note of that on a update in the description of this video. If there's anything else that you all would like to see added here that would help you with your fantasy lineups, just let me know and I'll make it happen. Good luck, everybody.